We're almost there. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's go ahead and recall, guys, or bring you guys back to 5th grade, 4th grade. When you guys started doing the long division, you guys remember that? No? Okay. That's when you guys started like not liking math very much. Your little house, yes, you had a little division house. So we're gonna go ahead and bring back that method. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring back one example, but with the intention to name the parts, okay? So you guys know what the definitions are or the parts in this particular example. Here's a type of example that you might have seen back then. So let me just review very quickly. We've done so far adding and subtracting polynomials, multiplying, factoring, and now we're going to go ahead and continue with dividing. We're going to go ahead and start with our first type of division, which is long division, and then we're going to go on to what we call synthetic division, okay? So that will be our next step. But so far, we're going to go here. So here are the parts of long division. Go ahead and copy this example so you guys can have it. And identify the parts, because I'm going to be referring to the parts as their proper names. So parts of long division. So I have right here 172 divided by 8. Now, how do we do this example? How do I start dividing? So we look at how many times does 8 fit into 172. But we can go ahead and focus on the first two terms, right? For the first, the 100th place and the 10th place. So how many times does 8 fit into, let's say 17? Twice. So let's go ahead and write my beautiful 2. Then what do I do next? Before I bring down the 2. Subtract it from what? How do we get 16? We multiply 8 times 2 and we get 16. We subtract it. Okay. Then what do? We subtract it, which is 17 minus 16 is what? So here's my beautiful 1. Then what do? Bring down what we have left over. So it's what? Wow. Yes? Now, what do we do next? Does 8 fit into 12? 1 time. So what do? We multiply 8 times 1. So there you go. So therefore 8 times 1 is 8. So we now subtract the 8. Let's see, what's our remainder? In this case, we have 4. So sometimes you're gonna have 0, sometimes you're gonna have 4, sometimes you're gonna have another number. But if you have a remainder, then we know that this 8 does not fit perfectly into 172 in this case, but we do have a remainder. Now, the way that we're gonna go ahead and rewrite this is that we write the quotient, which is 21, and we add it by the remainder divided by the divisor. So that is 4 over beautiful 8. So this is what our beautiful value is telling us. So here are the parts. 8 is going to be called my divisor. So whenever you see or you hear me saying, what is my divisor? What do I multiply my divisor by to be equal to the dividend? You're going to hear me now say dividend, which is our value that's inside our beautiful little dividing house. 21 is going to be known as our quotient or the result of its division. And our beautiful value of 4, what do you think it's going to be called? My beautiful remainder. Woo-hoo. All right. So the way that we are writing it is that we're writing the quotient plus the remainder divided by the divisor. All right. So we're following these procedures in mind, okay? So keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and see how many times we need to multiply that divisor in order for it to be as close as possible into the dividend. Write it in the quotient and then subtract it and see what we have left over, okay? Ready? All right. Here goes our first example. Go ahead and copy this one down. Making no space. I'm not playing, guys. Go ahead and write this one down. 3x to the power of 3 plus 22x squared plus 32x plus 10 is going to be divided now by x plus 5. You guys have been practicing with algebra, so we are good. Once you guys get the hang of it, you'll be fine. We'll get it in there. Okay, here we go. Ready? All right, so the way that we're gonna go ahead and structure this, guys, is that we're gonna go ahead and write our little house first. My little dividing house. My divisor house. Just how we did it before, here, like this one. We have a little house. There you go. Now, next item, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and write my divisor outside. So I'm writing x plus 5. My dividend is what's being divided, which is my beautiful term right here. 3x to the power of 3 plus 22x squared plus 37x plus beautiful 10. And make sure everything is underneath my beautiful dividing house here. Okay, ready. Listos. Everybody has it written down? Make sure you guys write it down correctly, because errors can happen where we forget to write it or copy it down correctly. Next item, guys, we're going to go ahead and focus on the terms that we have here. How many terms do we have here? 2. So we're going to go ahead and focus on the first 2 terms. Specifically on the first term in my dividend and my first term in my divisor. That's what's going to lead us or give us the next values to subtract or multiply. So in this case, I need to see how many times does x fit into 3x to the power of 3. What do I need to multiply x in order for it to become 3x to the power of 3? 3, okay, we need to multiply it by 3. What else? To the power of 2. Perfect. So that's my first term that I'm multiplying everything by. Next item. What did we get? So let me go ahead and bring back the example. So here it is. What did we do here? Notice here that we noticed that 8 fits into 17 twice. What did we do here? We multiplied 2 times 8 in order to get 16. Okay? So what do you guys think was going to happen here? We're going to multiply 3x to the power of 2 times x plus 5. So let's go ahead and multiply it. Here it goes. 3x to the power of 2 times x is 3x to the power of 3. And 3x to the power of 2 times 5 is what? Plus 15x to the power of beautiful 2. Now, what are we doing with this right here? What did we do with the 8? I mean, the 16. You subtracted it. So we have to make sure it's being subtracted. So the entire term subtracted. Now, we have a subtraction sign right here, which means I have an invisible 1. What do I do with that invisible 1? I have to distribute it. So if I to distribute, I now have negative 3x to the power of 3 and negative 15x to the power of 2. We had an invisible 1 right here. Negative, and I distribute it. Distribute. Because it was subtracted. Look, let me bring you back to the regular. That is, we had minus 16. Because 2 times 8 was 16, right? So now it's minus 16. So we have to multiply by that negative. So everything that was inside my term is the opposite sign now. Okay. Let's continue, guys. Ahora sí, let's go ahead and simplify. 3x to the power of 3 plus negative 3x to the power of 3. That is what? It cancels out at 0. And now we have 22x to the power of 2 plus negative 15x to the power of 2. 7x to the power of 2. What happens to the rest? We bring it down. So now we have positive 37x and plus 10.
So basically, it just depends on the number, it depends on the right side.
It's on the So now, what number are we focusing? My leading coefficient of my new row is what? 7x, and we still have x. So what do we need to multiply 7 or x for it to become 7x squared? 7x to the power of 2. So we need to multiply by 7x. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and multiply 7x squared times x. 7x to the power of 2. And 7x to the power of 2 times 5. 30. Notice here that we have, oh, sorry, it's power. Just 7x, 7x, sorry, guys. There you go, 7x. There you go.
So you subtract it?
And what do you mean?
Because there are you multiplying the 7x the second time by x? Are you multiplying?
Which is 7x to the power of 2. So this would be 7x times x. We now have x to the power of 2 times 7, which is what we want. 7x to the power of 2. Now, 7x times 5, 35x. Okay. Now, remember we have parentheses, guys? And it's negative, so we make sure that we change the signs now. Woohoo. So distribute that beautiful -1. Okay. Let me write. Now what happens here? These two values cancel out. So now we have 37x plus negative 35x. 2x. And then bring down your beautiful 10. Let's go ahead and see. Does x still fit into 2x? Yes. How many, or what do we need to multiply it by? Beautiful 2. Let me go ahead and do this one in green. Here is my next term. Here is my next term. I need to multiply this entire expression by 2. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 5 is 10. And we're subtracting the entire term. Here it is. Minus. So make sure we add, subtract, and subtract now. Okay, let me go ahead and go up here. Let's see what I have. I have run out of space down there. So we have 2x plus negative 2x. 0. And 10 plus negative 10. 0, so my remainder is 0. So my beautiful division is, or my quotient is now 3x to the power of 2 plus 7x plus beautiful 2. Not too bad, huh? Not too bad. We're going to try one more and then I'll give you guys one to try on your own. This is called long division, but now we're using polynomials. Long division. Okay, ready? No? I know. Okay, baby steps, guys, baby steps. Let me save an image and everybody has this? Yes? Okay, let me go ahead and clear. Example number 2, go ahead and copy this one down. 10x to the power of 3 plus 31 x to the power of 2 plus x minus 6. And all of that is being divided by x plus beautiful 3. Not too bad. Okay. Bless you. All right. I have a little dividing house. How do I organize it, or how do I structure it so that I have my parts in the correct place here in this case?
That's what you're, the thing.
So I have my dividing house. So let's go ahead and draw it. What do I write inside? 10x plus 10x to the power of 3, 31x to the power of 2, plus x minus 6. What goes outside? What's my divisor? X plus 3. We only have 2 terms in this case. Okay, perfect. Now, what do we do next? How do we know what value to multiply my x plus 3? What do we look at here? Next. My first term. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my first term here. It's 10x to the power of 3 and x. What do I need to multiply x so that it can become a 10x to the power of 3? There you go, 10x to the power of 2. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and multiply 10x to the power of 2 by our beautiful term, x plus 3. So we have, let me go ahead and start writing down my parentheses, since I know I'm going to have minus parentheses. Inside, I now have 10x to the power of 3, and then 10x times to the power of 2 times 3, which is plus 30x to the power of 2. Okay. All right, here are my parentheses. I know that I have a negative outside, so I'm going to change the signs inside my parentheses all to the opposite values. So I have plus now, negative 10x to the power of 3, and plus negative 30x to the power of 2. Okay. Next step. Let's go ahead and combine. So we have 10x to the power of 3 minus 10x to the power of 3, 0. 31x to the power of 2 plus negative 30x to the power of 2, just x to the power of 2. What do we do next? Bring down our values before we do that. So plus x minus 6. Okay, now what term do I focus on so that I know what to multiply the entire term by? X to the power of 2. All right, so let's see. X to the power of 2, what do I need to multiply x by so it can become x to the power of 2? X, so let's go ahead and write plus x. Okay, so let me go ahead and write minus inside parentheses x times x, x squared, x times 3x, sorry, 3, 3x. What do I do next? I distribute my negatives. So I have now plus minus x squared and plus negative 3x. Okay, let's see. Once I combine the terms here, what do I have? This goes to 0 and I'm left with x minus 3x. I know how. There you go, negative 2x. Bring down our beautiful 6, minus 6. And now I have to multiply this by negative 2. So let's go ahead and multiply the last term by negative 2. So minus 2. Let me go ahead and write my negative parentheses. I have negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times 3, negative 6. What do we do with this beautiful negative value? Change my beautiful sign. So this time I have now the following items. So we have negative 2x plus 2x, 0, and negative 6 plus 6, 0. So what is my remainder? 0. So what is my result? 10x to the power of 2 plus x minus beautiful 2. Woohoo! Not too bad, huh? Yeah, mejor. ¿Se siente mejor? Ready to try the next one on your own?
Algo así.
Okay, let me go ahead and give you guys the next one. What time is it? 26. Okay, perfect. Let me, not 26, it's 2:06.
It's fast.
Okay, go ahead and try this one. 12x to the power of 3 minus 19x minus 12 plus 4 divided by x minus 2. So we're going to go ahead and put our divisor outside. So let me go ahead and make some space. Here's my beautiful house. X minus 2 outside. What goes inside? 12x to the power of 3 minus 19x squared minus 12x and plus beautiful 4. Okay, Brianna, pass it on. Tessa, what do I do next? What do I focus on? So my first terms, x and 12x to the power of 3. Thank you, Tessa. All right, Tessa, pass it on. Divine, now what do I do? What do we multiply? By 12x to the power of? There you go, to the power of beautiful 2. So now we're looking to see what can I multiply x so that it becomes 12x to the power of 3. I multiply by 12x to the power of 2. Okay, so let me go ahead and write negative parentheses. What do I write here, Devon? There you go, 12x to the power of 2, 3. And then negative 2 times 12x to the power of 2. There you go, 24x to the power of beautiful 2. All right, what do I do to this beautiful negative sign, guys? I distribute it. So I'm going to go ahead and change, and change. So now my negatives, my positives become negative and my negatives become positives. All right, let's go ahead and now simplify. So we have 12x to the power of 3 plus negative 12x to the power of 3, 0. Next step, 19x to the power of 2 plus 24x to the power of 2. 5x to the power of beautiful 2. What do I do next, Divine? Pass it on. Bernard, what do I do next? Before that, what do we do? What happened to these two terms? There you go, bring them down. There you go. So we have now negative 12x plus beautiful 4. All right, Bernard, pass it on. Joel, what do I do next? There you go. So focus on my first terms. We have 5x to the power of 2 and x. All right. Joel, what do I multiply x to make it into a 5x squared? 5x. So let's go ahead and write plus 5x. Let's go ahead and multiply that. Remember that we have our beautiful little parentheses, minus. And now we have 5x squared minus beautiful 10. Okay. X. All right, let's go ahead and simplify. We have our beautiful negative sign outside. So we make sure that we change, and change. Okay, so next time, let's see, 5x to the power of 2 plus negative 5x to the power of 2. That goes to 0. And we're now next to negative 12x plus 10x. Negative 2x. Let's go ahead and write that down. All right, Joel, what do I do? Pass it on. Joaquin, what do I do next?
So then you gotta multiply 2 by x.
Before then.
Oh, drop it down.
There you go. Drop down our beautiful 4. And then what?
So then the x multiplied by 2, so you get negative 6.
Super close.
Oh, what?
Look at your first term from your new row. Let me highlight it in blue. Look at my first term. What is it? Negative. So what do I need to multiply that by? We have x in order for it to become a negative 2x. There you go. We multiply by -2. Signs matter here, guys. So make sure you guys multiply it by -2. So -2 in this case goes inside my parentheses. So minus parentheses, parentheses. We now have, let me write it in blue. -2x. And we have -2 times -2, which is +4. All right, let's go ahead and change our signs. Plus, plus, and now it's minus. Okay. Let's see. We have our last part, -2x plus 2x, 0. And 4 plus -4, it's also 0. So what's our remainder? Beautiful 0. Remainder of 0. So what is our quotient? 12x to the power of 2 plus beautiful 5x minus beautiful 2. Any questions on this? Not too bad, huh?
No.
It is long division, so it's gonna be long. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and give you guys your homework. I told you I was gonna take you guys back to 5th grade.
I don't think I don't ever remember being X's.
It's abstract.
That would have to be talking about. I'm like, they just.
We're doing the vertical angle theorem.